Why hello there YouTube and welcome back to what is another Who review from me. I am Davros and I am a Whovian. So, today I am reviewing Doctor Who The Five Doctors. Written by Terence Dicks and directed by Peter Moffat. Starring Peter Davison, John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton, Richard Hurndall, with Tom Baker and William Hartnell also as the Doctor, with Janet Fielding, Mark Strickson, Carol Ann Ford, Nicholas Courtney and Elizabeth Sladen. So, this is the 20th anniversary special of Doctor Who, and basically the Doctor and all his past incarnations before the Fifth Doctor were all being snatched from their time zones and placed into one big zone in the Death Zone in Gallifrey. And only the Doctor can save his past as well as his future from the hands of an evil being that is behind all this. And of course, the evil mastermind behind it all is President Barusa. So let's get on to my likes and dislikes about this one. First of all, the likes. I liked how, I like Peter Davison's performance in this. Like I say, not my top favourite Doctors, but I also love John Pertwee and Patrick Troughton. They both acted as if they popped off set for 2 minutes and then just got back into character. Like they never left them. I mean, John Pertwee does look slightly older, his hair's more whiter and that, but other than that, he still got it. And Patrick Troughton as well, he still got it as well. His Doctor and everything. They were both brilliant. I love the comedic, witty banter between the two and that. I also liked how all the Doctors were paired up with like their companions and that. We had Carol Ann Ford as Susan Foreman with the First Doctor, although he was not played by William Hartnell because William Hartnell was long gone by then in 1983. So they obviously got a lookalike, and that was at the time Richard Hurndall, who was playing the First Doctor in this. Why they say he looked like William Hartnell, I don't know. I mean, I guess he does with the whole costume and everything, but yeah, I don't think he really looked much like the First Doctor in the face. Maybe a youngish, maybe he was meant to be like a younger version of the First Doctor before he aged so much into William Hartnell. But there are many fan theories out there that do explain why Richard Hurndall, why William Hartnell's Doctor looks so different in this. Of course, I did like the brief cameo William Hartnell made at the beginning with his farewell speech to Susan. That was from the Dalek Invasion of Earth, the 1964 serial, when the Doctor was saying goodbye to Susan. I liked how it started with that, letting us know that William Hartnell is still not forgotten about. And sorry for the interruption there, I just had to go and see to something. So, also it's very hot today, and so yeah, yes, still, at least we have the illusion that William Hartnell's Doctor was there. I mean, the original script was for it to be called The Six Doctors, and Richard Hurndall would be like a robot duplicate of William Hartnell. But I don't think they went with that in the end. I think they went with just the Five Doctors, and I don't think we were meant to notice that he changed or looked different. I mean, I don't think we were meant to notice that in Twice Upon a Time when David Bradley was the First Doctor, but yeah. Also, I liked all the companions that made the effort to come back. Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah Jane, Nicholas Courtney as the Brigadier, and did that. I also loved Anthony Ainley as the Master in this. Now, of course, at the beginning when you see this, I thought too that it would be the Master. But like Peter Moffat told Terence Dicks, if it's the Master, it's not going to come to that much of a surprise. And Terence Dicks agreed with that. So we got a whole plot twist in that. and I'm probably not going to spoil anything now because this is like over 30 years ago. The villain was President Barusa, and Barusa was also a Time Lord that we'd seen in previous serials with Tom Baker's Doctor. Of course, he was played by a different actor this time, and that's the beauty with Doctor Who. If an actor doesn't want to come back, like who played a Time Lord, they can just get, you know, a him to regenerate. And he did. They did mention that he'd regenerated as well. He was the villain. I also liked how we got the first ever appearance of Rassilon in this. How he was evil and sinister and was like in a tomb. And apparently, if you completed the Games of Rassilon, because that's what they were in the Death Zone of Gallifrey. If they could win the game, they win the prize of eternal life with Rassilon's ring. But of course we find that it's not a blessing, it's a curse, because President Barusa accepts the prize because that's what he did. He wanted all the Doctors to go into the Death Zone, complete all the games, and and have all the so he could claim the prize. And of course he discovered that when he was imprisoned in the tomb with Rassilon, where he would slumber with him forever. Also, I like that they had the Cybermen in this. They did bring the Cybermen back for the 20th anniversary special. We also got a cameo from the robot Yeti as well, which Patrick Troughton's Doctor encountered in it. And I also like the effects. Now, there's two versions of this, of course. There's the original effects and then there's the digitally remastered version from 2003, I think. I don't like that one. I don't like the 2003 digitally remastered. They just ruined it for me, that. And I didn't really like the effects. I think the effects in the original cut from 1983 are way, way better than the effects that we got in the remastered version. And I do have the 25th anniversary edition, and we did get a lot better quality of picture, and the old effects were a lot better, I think. So yeah, that's what I liked. I mean, you can get both versions on the 25th anniversary edition DVD, but yeah, I much prefer the original effects. I think this was serialized as well, but later when it was like put onto DVD or something, or video, it was all mashed up into one long feature-length film. The 5 Doctors and that. I also enjoyed the cameos we had from other companions. Cameos, though, from Jamie and Zoe, Fraser Hines and Wendy Padbury, and Elizabeth Shaw as well in this, with John Pertwee's Doctor. And that. There's a lot to like on this, and we had at least all 5 Doctors in this one, because there were 5 at the time. And now we go to the dislikes of this serial. And what did I not like about this? Well, first of all, I'm going to say one dislike: the 4th Doctor. Yes, he was hardly in this at all. Excuse me. Tom Baker, I think, was in it from the start, but he just dropped out because I don't think he could. I think he felt like it was too soon for him to reprise a role after he only left 2 years before. Also, he was the Doctor for a long time, 7 years, and yeah, I don't know. And also, they wanted to bring Lola War back as Romana, and those two did not get on at all. They hated one another, even though they were married, but for a very short length of time. I like his screen time that they had in the original cut, not the remastered cut, because in the remastered cut, we see him get dropped back to his time zone, but we don't even see him close up or out. But in the original cut, before, with the old school effects, we do see him back on screen for a few seconds, and it's Romana telling the Doctor to get in the TARDIS. And his other first scene is where he's on the river on the barge or something. You know, doing that on the boat with Romana and that. That was actually footage from Sharda, which of course every Who fan should know that Sharda was an unaired serial that never saw the light of day. But almost 40 years later, we have got a somewhat finished version of that serial that you can get on DVD. I'll have to do a review on that at some point. Yeah, it was disappointing, but yeah. Another idea was that the Fourth Doctor would be beamed down onto Gallifrey and being like somewhat the last half hour, but still with Tom Baker dropping out, they didn't do that. They thought they'll bring Peter Davison in there because he was the current Doctor at the time, and that's how he found out who the villain was and everything. And yeah, that was one dislike, that I didn't like how Tom Baker was handled. Also, this story I don't think was handled too good. I mean, I like the story, it's a good story and that, but I think the script was a bit of a mess in pre-production. I mean, there was Terrence Dicks's version of the story, then there was another writer who wrote the story too, and John Nathan Turner, who was the producer at the time and probably the show's longest running producer, he said to Terrence, that we'll see whose story we prefer better and we'll go with that, and Terrence Dicks was having none of it. They either go with his vision or not, and in the end, Terrence Dicks, got it. He wrote the episode, he wrote the story, and yeah, we got that. And Terrence Dicks, he's had a long history with Doctor Who. He was the writer for the show and the script editor and that. And I think he did a good job writing this, even though he probably did it a bit at short notice because he was given the call to do this like at a convention in America when he was asleep in his hotel room or what have you. Yeah, I mean, the writing could have been handled a bit better, but Peter Moffat's directing was good in this. The effects, despite them haven't got... Well, in fact, do you know what? I think these effects have aged well. In my opinion, I think the effects are good. But I don't like the digitally alterized effects in the 2003 40th anniversary cut. No, I think the original cut is way better. And I've already told you I've got this story. So, yeah, the Five Doctors. I mean, this story, yeah, in the end, they did a good job, okay? They did a great job with the story and everything, and I ended up enjoying it, and yeah, it was a good way to mark 20 years of the show. We even, the Doctor references how it all started when he, at the end, the Doctor's given the role of president again, and he does a runner, and he says that's how it all started. After all the other Doctors go back to their time zones. So, yes. Another thing I disliked, what I found a bit pathetic, was when Elizabeth Slade and Sarah Jane fell what was meant to be like a cliff or something, or a steep hill, but yeah, that was poorly done. And another thing was when Susan apparently fell over and twisted her ankle, which, yeah, I don't bloody know. But all in all, it was a decent story. Richard Hurndall would not have been my choice for the first Doctor in this, but I wasn't around in 1983, and also, I don't think anyone else could have pulled it. I mean, I enjoyed Richard Hurndall, but if you ask me who plays a better first Doctor other than William Hartnell, I would say David Bradley does. Okay, so yeah, final thoughts and ratings. I enjoyed the Five Doctors. I enjoyed the villains in it. I enjoyed, Oh, and I almost forgot one more dislike. The Daleks. Now, this was the 20th anniversary, and of course they had to have the Daleks in. But, Terrence won part of an argument, and they did allow him to have a Dalek in it. Just one Dalek. And that had a cameo, and that's a Dalek that Richard Hurndall's Doctor, the first Doctor and Susan encountered. I wish we could have seen a little bit more of the Daleks, but yeah, we didn't. So that's one dislike. But yeah, back to my final thoughts and ratings. The Five Doctors was okay. Great 20th anniversary celebration episode. You know, probably groundbreaking at the time. For me, I think it has, you know, aged well. And that, you know, I recommend the original unaltered version, though, and that is on the 25th anniversary edition from 2008. And that. Okay, so yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to give the Five Doctors. Do you know what? I'll give this a. Yeah, I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5. So that has been my Who review on the Five Doctors. This probably has to be the longest review I've ever done on a Doctor Who episode. Anyway, yeah, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to hit that notification bell to stay notified on this channel. All of my social media links are down below in the description. So, until next time, run for your life. My hand is sweaty because it is that boiling hot. I'm going to go and cool off.